Hi everyone, I am McDices, and this is Dead Rising 2 Off the Record. So I think I've done one of these before for the main category, but this is all bosses, because all bosses is actually really cool. And it features all the optional bosses that are absolutely wanky and interesting. We're going to be doing this because I think it's quite fun, and we'll kind of be going over how to beat every boss, and just how to beat the game in general as a speedrun at the very least. I'm going to be using a file that is pre-made. I made this file, has $40,000 at the beginning. This skips the intro, because the intro is like 3 minutes of knee dropping. This just saves me 3 minutes. If you speedrun this, you're allowed to do it. If you really want to knee drop for 3 minutes, you can make a new game, and we'll subtract 3 minutes of your time from the speedrun leaderboard. Otherwise, yeah, we use this file that starts in backstage, because we kind of got tired of wasting 3 minutes of knee dropping. Okay. Anyway, let's go. I know I do these all the time. You wait all day? Well, there I'm can forever. So, first things first, Dead Rising still starts with waiting. This is kind of why we cut out the knee dropping, because we still have waiting, believe it or not. Anytime you're going through a cutscene, you kind of want to hold down start. It'll automatically skip the whole cutscene, and multiple cutscenes if they aren't there, so you don't have to actually wait, and it's slightly faster. This is going to be a waiting section, so it's nothing too much there. And yeah, the knee drop, like 3 minutes of doing it, like, you can fail it too is the sad part. The only rule of the knee drop is you have to make your own file. So, also I was going to Left 4 Dead 2 kid. But yeah, no, chill with Mac. I do these all the time. I do the Speedrun Explained. We did one recently for Silent 2. I do these all the time, and it's part of a series I have on YouTube. So if you haven't checked out YouTube, cough, cough. Anyone want to type exclamation mark YouTube? I push the Twitter button, but the YouTube button works too. Cough, cough. Check out my social media, cough, cough. Anyway, going back to the actual game for a moment, a lot of you might be wondering, hey, Dices, why aren't you taking pictures? Don't you get more level ups? You do. However, every time you take a picture, what will happen is the game will freeze. And the freezing will actually make it so that you lose time, because while you do get the PP level up, it's not enough to really be worth it, and you just kind of lose a few seconds each time you take a picture. So it's not really a good thing. So you can do instead while waiting is you can look at the massagers and mayo that Capcom Vancouver put here. It's a very clever joke, as you can see. I get it. You need a big brain for that one. That being said, the camera will have a lot of usage throughout the run, just not in a way you expect it to. Please explain. Well, those look like a certain object, and the mayonnaise comes from that object. Haha, comedy. Haha, Jonathan, you are banging my daughter. Alright, so we're almost done with the mission here, and we're going to be getting a cutscene. Once again, whenever you go to a cutscene, hold down start. So during the fade out, hold down start. Now, I'm going to get the crap kicked out of me as soon as possible. Now, in order to avoid knockback and getting stunned, I'm going to actually hold out the camera. This also taunts them, so they'll attack me faster. So you see me kind of bring it out every now and again. Alright, we should be going down. There we go. And you kind of see the thing there. One of the guys can actually kick you down, which isn't good. You want to be able to make sure you can get your get beat up as much as you can. Now, the best part later is we're going to get beat up yet again. Because this time, instead of getting beat up that way, we're going to walk directly into the spire with the camera out. The camera out, as you can see, kind of prevents this general knockback that happens, and it lets you take damage faster, I think. And it's kind of strange. You'll see this like little jut. This is what you want. Like so. You can even double die. You can get like a 231 there if you're going fast enough, but my intro fight wasn't the greatest. Anyway, dying in the intro will actually throw you back to the safe house. In Dead Rising 1, what we normally do is we have to get a weapon, so we can't do it, but in this game, we have nothing we need, so we can just sort of do that and die immediately. And it's kind of faster that having Frank be an absolute chump is faster than being good. My favorite part, too, is the girls, while you're walking, are, like, hyping up Frank, like, you're my hero, and all he did is get his ass kicked. It's kind of like me on a Saturday night. You know, except without the hype. More the second part. Anyway, this game is going to be a lot like Dead Rising 1, where we're going to be getting a lot of skateboards. Skateboarding in Dead Rising is very important, as you can imagine. As well, we're going to need to be gathering $1 million. Why do we need $1 million? We're going to need it later for the game, for 2 reasons, actually. One mission is gated by money. The next mission is, well, we need goods. Exactly, I can't even fight an inanimate object. That is true. So from here, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to be grabbing a handgun for our first weapon, and I'll be grabbing 3 boards. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Clyde. Perfect. The boarding in this game is actually a little bit slipperier than Dead Rising 1, but the upside to this game is that the board can take like 8 hits or so before you really run out. So you can be pretty lenient with how you board. As well, I'm going to be going to a lot of these shops because I'm going to be needing a lot of these keys. We have key 66 there. And before I kind of get the rest of the tools, I am now going to be getting ready for the looter fight. The looter fight's very easy. We're going to be getting out the gun, and I will be simply shooting 3 times in the head for each. If they knock down, just simply go to the next. See? Nice and dead. Once all 3 are dead, it's a very easy fight, and I'm actually going to keep the gun out. The reason why is because I don't need the gun anymore. And whenever you use Zombrix, you will drop whatever weapon you have. So, I don't need the gun anymore, I'll automatically drop it for me, and I'm going to take this coffee creamer. The coffee creamer will be used later, so it will be good. Also, I mentioned I'll be using the camera, so a neat trick you can do with the camera is called board canceling. Now, watch, when I get off the board, I'm going to get off normally. What's going to happen here is you'll see a slow dismount. The dismount's not very fast. See? A slow dismount. However, what you're going to notice is the fast version. If I use the board and then the camera, I can actually immediately break it, and that's going to allow me to get back to moving fast. Okay. I'll get back to moving faster, which is much, much better. And this is one of those things that adds up throughout the run, and if you're playing the game, every time you stop, you want to be using the camera trick. And all that is it's whipping out the camera, and it's just really neat, because you don't think about that. This works for a lot of things, and it'll happen in combat, it'll happen in boarding. Really, if any kind of animation will stop Frank from doing something, the camera is going to be your best friend. So that's quite important. I don't know if Frank went directly in the garbage. That was funny, wasn't it? You may also notice I picked up some sports shoes. These shoes will be a part of a larger outfit that I'll be getting as a total of later. Hey, I don't know how I got myself in that cart, but I'm cool doing it. What could I say? I wasn't trying to aim. We're just aiming there. Also, we don't really care about the survivors, because usually, unless you're behind on a level at this point, they're not really worth getting. You're going to level up plenty normally, so it's A-okay. Exactly. Also, we're now introduced to maintenance room keys. We will actually be using combo weapons during this run. However, we're not going to be doing it immediately. The first combo weapon you can make, I think, is like the baseball bat with nails, but we don't need that. A spiked bat. We're just going to entirely ignore that. It kind of just throws us forward in a cutscene, and we're going to be making our way over to the other plaza here. I think it's the Americana. Yeah, the Americana. There it is. No, Frank does not belong in the garbage. Frank belongs in our hearts. Okay, so the Americana is funny because we only need one thing from this place. All we're going to need is face paint. That is it. That is straight up the only thing we actually need. Face paint. So we're going to be going up here. If you do a slow turn, you can go up the stairs. Now, Dead Rising 2 is a little bit different than Dead Rising 1. You can't innately skateboard upstairs. What that means is if you try boarding upstairs, you'll be going at whatever movement you carried beforehand. So keep that in mind. Also, you don't need every key. We're only going to need the set keys that we're grabbing. So kind of pay attention as I'm grabbing the keys. Anyway, now we have the face paint. There's going to be 4 outfits in total. When I get all 4, we're going to be getting a lot of buffs at once. And I'll fully go into why we're doing this. Hey, Dead Rising 1's a classic game, and it's an amazing game. I do love it. That's why I've kind of been doing a lot more of the Dead Rising franchise. I remember back when I was in high school, I saved up money so I can buy a copy of Dead Rising 2 off the record, and I played it like mad on my PS3. I really like this game, what can I say? So, speedrunning is kind of a nice thing. It's one of my fan favorites. Alright, so right now there's actually a few options on how you can go, but we're doing the same general amount of things, which is going to the same shops. The order doesn't actually really seem to matter. I like to believe that abusing the IGT is kind of nice by going this way, because every time you go through a loading screen, it will pause, which is nice for me. However, if you do want to go through the main plaza, you also can. Also, some people do go to the sex shop. There's a lot of options that you have, as you can imagine. Anyway, you might be wondering, Ecdysis, your board is breaking. What's going on here? The board breaking is actually okay. I mean, I have 3 boards, and I'll be replacing this one very soon anyway. So if it breaks, I mean, I'd rather it not break, because that means I get slight animation of it breaking, but it doesn't really matter too much, because I'll just be able to kind of carry it forward to the end of the run. Alright, and now it's time for our next boss fight. This is the first one of the game, I should say. This is Ted and Snowflake. Which wars? The Cola Wars. That's what Frank covered. So, Ted and Snowflake is going to be an interesting fight. For one, with Ted, we're going to be going up here to grab an LMG. Sometimes there might be a jump scare zombie, we didn't get one. I like the button taps. I'm kind of just pressing the button repeatedly while shooting Ted. This kills Ted very easily, and the fight is now done. Snowflake won't be an issue. We will be saving Snowflake, but not yet. Normally, to save Snowflake, you need to, like, give her a bunch of raw steak and make sure she's your friend. We're not going to do that, but we will be saving Snowflake, just not right now. There's actually a glitch that happens that whenever you leave a boss area, the boss will regenerate health. So by utilizing this glitch, Snowflake will regenerate all her health, and next time we go there, she'll actually be fully healed and tamed. So it's actually kind of neat that we can break the game that way. Also, Posh Biscuits, thank you for the Prime Gaming. Enjoy the emotes and the scissors, and thank you very much. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to the Swarm. Also, I like Dead Rising 2 boarding more, I think. I think it's more fun. But Dead Rising 1, I think the boarding's better, but durability, off the record, definitely. Anyway, I grabbed a key on top of that slot machine, and I grabbed the jersey here. We're almost done with the whole outfit. I need one more part, and the whole outfit will come together. As well, we're getting another key. Normally, you can board through here, which I'm not sure why I didn't get that. There we go. We're grabbing this key. It's very missable, so make sure you don't miss it. And now I'll be using the coffee creamer and the cocktail to make a quick step. Also, kick. As you can see. It's all coming together, exactly. The quick step will be used in a moment. We're going to need that movement speed buff for something very important. And last but not least, we're getting the skateboarding book. So now we have 2 skateboarding books, and our boards are effectively not going to die ever. Plus, we have the ability to jump. This is going to come in handy. Azunyai Distributor, great to see you today. Hope you're doing well. So, jumping is going to be very important for a few reasons. As well, we're going to be leaving through the silver strip because we want to go to the sex shop. Now, why do you want to go to the sex shop? Well, I mean, why do you think we'll be going there? There's 2 reasons, actually. One reason is we need our final bit of the outfit, which is a Viking helmet. The Viking helmet is here because it's horny.
This fits.
And we also get Sex Key 69. You can thank Capcom Vancouver for their clever jokes. I'm not kidding, by the way. That is the actual reason that Viking helmet is there. Someone told me that in a YouTube comment, and now I'm annoyed every time I say it. Alright, so, last thing is we're going to be going to the Atlantica entrance. At the entrance, we are going to be getting a key. It's in the fountain, along with some fish. I don't recommend eating the fish. If you eat the fish, you might get a disease. It is Las Vegas, after all. Or fake Las Vegas. That height? We'll be talking more about that in a bit, but what you saw there was a moon jump. Moon jumps can be done anytime you jump from a slope going up. So, like, watch. Right here, if you jump just right, you get a little bit more height. And if you do it just right, you can get a lot, which will come in handy later, actually. I'm using it for the speedrun. And the Viking helmet has to do with sex, because it's horny. The hat has horns. It's horny. Alright, so now I got the outfit, and now we have Rebecca. So, what the outfit does is it makes me physically faster, it lets me eat garbage, and I can also attack better with sports weapons. All these things will come in handy for the run. Now, first things first, Rebecca's movement speed is actually tied to my movement speed. So what that means for us is Rebecca will go faster if I move faster. So by default, Rebecca's now going to run faster at my movement speed because I have the sportsman outfit. However, it actually stacks. So Quick Step is a drink you can make that makes your movement speed go very, very fast, as you'll be seeing in a moment here. Not only does that affect me, but it'll also affect my comrade, Rebecca. It affects all your teammates, by the way. So if you have any teammates, if you drink the Quick Step, it will affect them. So, I'm now going to use the LMG I got to murder the looters. This is a section of the game you're kind of needed to escort Rebecca through a bunch of, like, dangerous zones, but she's really slow. So by drinking the Quick Step, you can see in that little portrait in the bottom that she's going to be moving much, much faster, which is ideal. Please die, thank you. And good. I'm just getting a lot of headshots. I don't really care much about the gun, funny enough. Like, you can conserve your ammo if you really want to. We're not going to need much of this gun left. You just want to make sure that Rebecca's constantly moving in the bottom. If she stops, you want to make sure that you go back and save her. Oh god, I broke a sneeze. That's bad. You ever oh my god, that's horrible. I broke my sneeze. I got a sneeze and I broke it. Oh. She has. Also, fun fact, the outfit's called the Greniers. I don't know, apparently a Grenier is like the roof of like a grain silo in France or something. It's weird. But the Grenier is definitely not like a knight on a horse. So, I don't know what Capcom Vancouver is trying to say with the Greniers. Maybe they thought the word was cool and wanted a sports team. They didn't realize what the word Grenier actually means. Good luck, thanks, Mokesel. Alright, so I want to make sure I actually just kind of go around, and I don't want to cross that line. You cross this line too early, Rebecca won't actually follow you. She'll dead stop. So you kind of want to wait till she's in the zone, and when she's in the zone, she'll continue moving. I don't know why, Rebecca's just very feisty. Alright, last but not least, while you're here, do not forget the key. There's another key here. A lot of people forget that key, me included. Especially me, actually. In fact, I should say only me. Don't forget the key. Most of the runners in this game are actually good. Alright, now that we've done all that, we can actually go back to the safe house. No, Grenier. Not Grenadier. Grenier. Like, it's the, Greniers or something like that. I can show you the name. Not Grenadiers. Greniers. Like, Greniers. Like, Gren, G-R-E-N-I-E-R. So not, sorry, that's my bad. No, not Graniers. The Greniers. That's what it says on the jersey for some reason. I had to look up what a Grenier was, and it's not what it's on Frank's jersey. Yeah, like that Manicore. Alright, so right now we're just heading back to the safe house. So, I want to mention there's always a few little things you can do in any game. The general idea for this game is the boarding is very important. So make sure that you're not hitting too many things, you're able to weave in and out of zombies, and also one more fun fact, you're able to kind of, hold the button. So if you're actually skateboarding, if you hold down the skateboard button, you don't need to tap it. You can just hold down the button, and Frank will go the fastest he can go. Alright. I'll see if there's a moment I can kind of stop Frank and look at him, but right now it's not the case. Apparently it means attic? It's something weird. By the way, it's not a guy on a horse. That's what I'm meaning. It's definitely not a guy on a horse and a Viking. Alright, so right now we're going to be going to Uranus Zone. We'll be hitting our first of second of 3 boss fights. I keep forgetting that we kill Ted. But after Ted is dead, we'll be hitting our first major boss fights. You actually do these during the time skip mod normally, so if you run the main category, this category won't be too different. The strategy is virtually the same. It's actually a really fun strat these days, too. Also, fun fact, apparently my greatest TikTok clip is during this coming boss fight. People really like it, and I think it's one of the coolest in the game. Actually, in the franchise. It's just really technical. Like, a lot happens at once, and it's very just gritty. Like, level 3, hard boss fight, it's fun. Funny enough, the fight's not Chuck Green. Although we see Chuck Green here, we're not going to be dealing with Chuck right now. We will be fighting him, but not yet. Chuck's fight's actually kind of hard without having the proper tools, so we're not going to fight Chuck just yet. Now, what the proper tools are going to be is, 1, we're going to need more Zombrex. I kind of haven't really mentioned it, but the reason why I've grabbed all those keys is for all the money and Zombrex I need throughout the game. Every 24 hours, Frank needs his Zombrex, or he'll die and turn into zombies. So I'm going to go up here, and by going up here, I'm going to be able to get some Zombrex. As well, I'll be doing a moon jump. The moon jump is going to... How's it going, Rio? Great to see you. And how's it going, Tux? By doing the moon jump right here, hopefully... Of course I didn't get it. Second try, let's see. Hold on. Like I mentioned, the moon jump, once again, will be a trick where you kind of go on a slope, and... Oh my god, it's just not giving it to me. You go on a slope, and you're able to get a lot more height. Okay, let's try this again. Thank you for the follow. There we go. So third try moon jump, not so bad. You're able to get a lot of height. Now, by going up here, I'm able to skip a lot of platforming, and I'm going to be able to get another key. Plus, I'm going to be able to get a shotgun. Also, thank you all for the follows. I'm glad you're all enjoying the stream thus far. Boom. There we are. So, we're going to grab this key right here, and we'll be grabbing the shotgun. Now, there is, unfortunately, a glitch that can kind of make things a bit rough if you're not careful. It's not too bad if you have the fixed file. I don't have the fixed file, so I'm going to try not to mess it up. I really hope I don't. If I do, I'm going to have to reset the run, and there's nothing I can do to stop that. It only happens if you play 2 cutscenes at the same time. Alright, so now we're fighting Brandon. The way the Brandon fight's going to work is I am going to pump him with the shotgun. I'm going to bait out his attack, and I'm just going to keep pumping him. That's good. Alright, he's going to change his movement. I'm going to roll. If he tries diving at you, roll. And just keep wailing him with the shotgun in close range. You'll probably try doing this attack right here. This is good. Just keep wailing on him, and you will be fine. It's a very easy fight. Plus, I got the cutscene timed perfectly. That was very good. If I got first try out for the moon jump, that would have been perfect. But it doesn't always happen. And once again, the moon jump is a timing-oriented thing, so you're going to be able to need to time it just right for that. A lot of people don't quite realize that, but that's how it works. The best way to practice is just while playing the game. You don't really lose time by doing it throughout the overworld, so just start doing it. If you're running this game or playing it, you can just sort of mess around. Anyway, I don't know all the boxes that we're opening. I just kind of remember the exact order, so just kind of watch as I open these boxes. There's a lot of boxes we'll be opening. It's giving us both money, and it's also giving us the Zombrex that we will need. Plus, we have one more box, which is going to be right here, which is going to give me a gun. I am going to need that gun. Alright, now that we got all the money and guns, we should leave here with roughly close to $600,000. And I had however many, 3 Zombrexes. So this is what your money amount should look like at this point in the game. We actually grabbed one more key than you normally would, and the reason why we grabbed that... Also, there's moon jump. See, just practice. It's fun. You don't lose time. Yeah, how you doing, Reliver? Hope you're having an amazing day today. You can kind of see the general idea there. Alright, now we're going to the Chuck Green boss fight. So Chuck Green's boss fight is a bit RNG based, and the reason why is because Chuck can just kind of choose not to attack you. You actually want Chuck to approach you, and the best way of doing that is to shoot him. If you shoot him, he'll get stuck, this is very good right now. You want him to have something like this. And while you might get knocked down, that's okay, because as long as you shoot Chuck, you should be fine. He got away, but he's heading back. Also, be careful. Chuck actually can one-shot you if you're not careful. Good fight. I'll take it. A bad fight will be Chuck escapes you. A good fight is Chuck just never moves. It's okay to waste some of the bullets. You're lurking? Hey, we'll hope the lurk is treating you well. I do know you were one of the first on the channel today, if I remember right. Also, look at that moon jump. See? So that's kind of the general idea what you want to do. Anyway, Chuck will always die because we actually need him for a lot of reasons. But for Chuck, you want to use the 60 shooter, or the 6 shooter. It's called the 6 shooter, but I call it the 60 shooter, we all do, because the 60 shooter has a lot of ammo and hits really hard. It's a good weapon for what we want to do. And also, I'll be debuting some very unique strats, including the moon boarding and moon jumping. And I'll kind of talk about with each boss what I try to keep in mind. Keep in mind, another thing to do with the game is with every boss fight, things won't pan out as you're seeing here or as they expect. Hell, I think in any case whatsoever, live performance, speedrunning, really whatever you want to make it, nothing ever works out the way you think it will. I was going to sneak dust. Hope you're having a great day. Nothing ever works out. So what that means is, all I have to do is make sure Chuck doesn't escape. What if Chuck escapes? You have to play it by ear. So I'll try to mention what things you should keep in mind as the general idea. Like with Chuck, make sure you shoot him. If he gets away, you'll have to wait, but you just want to kind of keep nailing him, because then he'll try to attack you. It's kind of like, you know, it's a bullfight, kind of. You're the matador, he's the bull, and you want to use your gun as the red cape. So keep that in mind. Alright, so a lot of you have been wondering, what about Snowflake? Is she okay? Is she safe? You'll be happy to know, Snowflake is the only survivor in the game who escapes. Nobody else actually makes it. Only Snowflake. So, we're gonna go get Snowflake right now. Like I mentioned, whenever you leave a boss area, their health actually regenerates. So Snowflake, at this point in time, is all regenerated. I found this on accident once, because I accidentally entered the Snowflake fight, and then I went back there later during a run, and I was like, oh, Snowflake got tamed, and it was made consistent by Hudson. So, thanks to that, we found a cool strat. We called it No-Flake, because you're just not doing Snowflake as a fight. I think the faster way would be to kill Snowflake too, so this makes people happy that we don't have to kill the tiger. No, you can't lick Snowflake. That's not allowed. Can't lick the Snowflake. Also, right now, we're making our way back towards the Yucatan. I really recommend for anyone who just plays this game or wants to do anything with this game, learn the layout of the maps. Like, the casinos are pretty easy to traverse once you kind of have the hang of it. Like, you'll always know the Yucatan's the furthest one away, and that's kind of just important to know. Also, there's the Snowflake cutscene, and we have now tamed Snowflake. Snowflake is also now our friend. Also, the whole reason why we saved Snowflake instead of just, you know, letting Snowflake die to old age or something, you can't actually abandon Snowflake. Snowflake is the only survivor who will always follow you. Probably because they don't want to make you control a tiger or try to save one. Why is it even an emote? Why not, Hamonly? Why not? So, Snowflake's actually going to follow me throughout a whole train chase coming up, and it's kind of hilarious. Alright, so the underground. This is going to be a bit weird, but there's a fun strategy to make this work a little bit better. When I enter the cutscene, I'm actually going to board into it, and I'm going to be hanging directions. So first things first, I'm going to be holding right and then left really quickly. So it's going to look kind of like that. It looks really fast. I'm holding right, then immediately left while braking. Alright, so now we're on the train. There's two strategies here. One, you headshot all the dudes. Two, you can actually board your way through this. It's recommended you kill at least most of them. You can leave the last one there, but get really quick, you know, just like that, and then you can board. There's one more in the back. That's okay, though. You can sort of ignore him. And then we go. If you're really ballsy, you can actually just go right to the end. That makes sense, Steves. That makes sense. But yeah, that's how the section goes. If you're really ballsy, you can go right to the end, too. I've done it once. It's not really worth going for, though, because you can kill your whole run. And while, you know, the loading in this game is rather generous, it's still pretty bad. Like, you don't want to have to save and load. The game does autosave on every screen, though, so keep that in mind. Now, we're actually going to ignore the arrow at the top entirely. Don't ever listen to the arrow. The arrow is never right. Like, ever. We're actually going to ignore it almost entirely. Usually. Because this way it's going to be much faster. Again, if you know the layout of the map, you might understand that going to certain casinos will be faster than going to other casinos. There we go. Also, Snowflake will be staying with us, like I mentioned. Also, if you manage to take damage, do not worry, it is a-okay. Because Snowflake will actually give you a full heal no matter what you're at. It's one of the funnier parts about this game that you wouldn't quite expect. Like, right now I have 3 health, and I would actually like to heal, because we're heading one of the harder missions right now. But I don't need to worry about that, because since I have Snowflake, we'll be all good. And I bet you're wondering, Ecdysis, don't you need $1 million? I do. Also need dust. The moment I've seen does suck, and you have good taste. The $1 million will be gathered during Boomtown, for the most part. You want to end up with like $900,000 roughly during this mission. The money is super important on what the routing works. Unfortunately, it is not about the Mets. It is actually about the money in this game. It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. And it'd be cool. Anyway, Snowflake is 3, the only survivor we save. Saving Snowflake also gives you a level up. So, we did it. There's my full health and the free level up. Gotta love the Mets. Exactly. Alright, so now it is time for the run for the money case. This case is probably the case I think would scare most people off running this game. I think anyone who's ever tried Dead Rising 2 or Off the Record, always run for the money is the hardest one by far. The reason why is because this really tests your gunplay. If you're not good with the gun, you're going to have a bad time. The reason why is because you need to be able to land a lot of headshots at once. It's pretty rough, all things considered. Oh, thank you, Curbello.
It's about the money. Here's a donation.
Of course.
Here's the money. Also, good morning.
Good morning to you, Curbello. The donation, that one's the $250, but the 100 scissor biddies are always good, so thank you, Curbello. That's the Nightcry one. I like that one, it's fun. Anyway, what we're going to be doing is headshotting all the dudes. The 2 strats here, obviously you can ignore the dudes, but you'll have a much better time if you kill most of them. Because these guys will be wailing on us as we break down the safe. As well, I don't need to worry about the power drill. I don't actually need that gun anymore, because I still have the LMG. So I'll take the money case, I'm going to throw it against the wall, and I'm going to take the money. As you can see. Now, while I'm here, I'm actually going to make a weird move. I'm actually going to be taking a sword from the wall as well. This sword is going to be helpful for the upcoming boss fights, because we actually do have like 3 coming up. And we're going to need a sword, funny enough. Now, another important thing is going to be a board refresh. Didn't know? Yeah, headshots in this game, for some enemies, will do more. Like, I noticed for the snipers, like, for psychopaths, they don't really do more, but for the, like, the general mooks, the random dudes, they'll do more. If you're running low on board health, it's okay to board refresh right here. This is one of the missions where I think it's kind of recommended. Now, obviously, if you're really going for, like, a really good time and you think your boarding will be fine, you can wait, but this is what I'd recommend board refreshing if you're just kind of feeling weird. And it is flaggled. So I picked up a sports book, and I have the outfit on, meaning the sword's gonna be much more powerful. That's actually why we pick up the sword. It's considered a sports weapon, because I guess sword fighting is a sport. I know a thing or two about sword fighting myself. If you know what I mean. Anyway, the LMG is going to be your friend right now. Keep in mind as well, if you run low on ammo, if you kill any of the guys, they usually drop their gun, and their gun has a lot more bullets than Dead Rising 2 base. So, it is a-okay to just use their gun to win. What I recommend is just kind of getting their headshots and do the button tapping. Button tapping is very important for the whole game. Button tapping is going to allow you to get more damage in. Now, a neat thing about this game we haven't really explored yet, because most of the bosses have been rather straightforward, it's the idea of revenge hits. So every single boss in this game has the concept of a revenge hit. What that means is that if you hit the boss too much, if the boss feels like they're not getting in enough shots, they'll power up long enough to where they will break out of whatever stun lock you have them, and they'll hit you to a knockdown. Every boss in the game has their variants of revenge hitting. Some bosses really just are really weak, like Ted, for instance. Like, you won't really ever really get the revenge hit because you're just shooting him. Also, shooting tends to be rather effective against a lot of the game's bosses, as you might be able to tell. Now, the next boss we actually can't shoot. I know what you're thinking. Oh, wait, didn't you just say shooting's good? I did. But, not quite. First things first, I'm grabbing one of the assault rifles, and I use the jelly beans to heal. Why? I think jelly beans are fun. That's it. I was an Australian. Good to see you. You woke up? Nice. Hope you have a good morning. I try Sentium. I like to talk a lot. I like to geek out. It's fun. Plus, at this point, I guess it's practice as well. Alright, so now we have the gun and the sword. We're going to be entering Chef Antoine, the king of cuisine. The way I'm going to make this fight work is I want to jump slash and, slash or running and slash again, and then I'm going to eat the hit. When he's running away, you want to shoot him. And then you go for a jump slash again, and swing. This gets the most amount of damage. If he stays with you, just keep swinging. You'll always get a lot of damage. If he does this, just shake out of it. When you get low on health, there's pasta and wine over there. With that, that's fine. I'm probably going to die if I don't play this carefully, so I'm going to let Chef Antoine heal while I get the board. Like I mentioned, not every fight will work out perfectly. You want to make sure you don't die. Also, the reason why we killed the mercs earlier is because now I likely won't die as I'm healing during the Antoine fight. Normally, Antoine won't be a huge issue. If he does heal, it is a-okay. Remember, if he's running, just shoot him, he will head back to you. He doesn't like taking damage. Like so. Good. This isn't bad. And you'll see him run away again. I'm going to shoot. Oh, that's bad. Here we go. Antoine's the worst example of getting revenge hits as a boss. Antoine is very good at getting the revenge. You can actually beat Antoine without having to heal. However, as you may notice, I had a bit of a rough fight. These things happen. It's okay. You're not always going to have a perfect fight, and that's fine. Plus, I probably don't need to heal because I can likely do it during the next section. So we'll be a-okay. But that's the Antoine fight. The thing to keep in mind is while you can go back and forth, remember Antoine has probably the highest rate of revenge from anybody, I think. So just keep that in mind. Antoine is very good at the revenge hitting. Also, we're going to be going up here because I actually want the LMG back. And I'm actually going to sneak my way inside the shop here, or the restaurant. The reason why is because there's a lot of brewskis, and, you know, I like a brewski myself. Thank you. The brewski's gonna be good for healing, and I didn't totally need it. I'd rather play it safe right now. Because while I will level up from, I think, a couple of these kills, you never know the way it goes. Like, taking 1 damage, I already took a damage there. The beer was the right idea. As I wake up in the morning, I also drink beer. I know that has nothing to do with the mission here, but it's just the way it goes. Alright, so now we're going to be entering our next fight. I don't like to waste the LMG ammo, so I pick up one of these, and I start unloading on the power glove. Alright, while this is all going, I will then be grabbing the last of money. Remember, you have to make sure with every vault you are getting the money. There's a lot of money to be had. There's also a lot of beers in this room if you need it, so keep that in mind. Alright, now that the vault is done. Also, you don't need to kill all the dudes, you just need to break the vaults. So if you're kind of, you know, a bit ballsy, and you really want to, you can do that. Where's the money? In our pockets? Do you keep the money in your pockets? Dead Rising does have Resident Evil zombie grab rates. Actually, I think it's worse, Jesus Rocks. That's some pretty rough ones. And have a great night, Gert, once again. I think I said it, but have a great night. Alright, it is now time for the Slappy fight. A lot of people know this fight. This fight's actually really fun. It's gonna have 2 phases. 1, every time the Slappy comes towards you, you want to do a jump kick or a jump slash. At this point, I like to go for 2 hits. One of these, one of these. Slappy will then get up, and he'll try 2 things. If he's doing this, you must shoot Slappy. Otherwise, if Slappy's ever up, you want to jump slash or jump kick him. Jump kicking is slightly easier than the jump slash, so keep that in mind, but you can still get it. The general idea is 2 and then shoot. Alright, good. And slash. You can also usually combo it. So that's a fun combo, and then you shoot him once. You'll probably do this once. Oh, nope, there he is. Okay. If you run out of ammo on the LMG, it is okay. I'm probably not going to run out of it. I think I'll kill Slappy soon. Slash. I actually whip the slash. That's fine. Let's roll out. Oh my god, Slappy, my frame rate! Alright, I'm actually losing the LMG entirely. My frame rate, Slappy! Oh my god. He directly attacked my life score. I can't believe it. Oh, I forgot to split. That's fine. There we go. Poor Fies, poor me. Alright, that's a Slappy fight. So, just keep that in mind. When he's getting up, you shoot. If he's going for the 3 fireballs, you can actually just run around him, get ready for the jump kick or the slash. And then if he is going for the other move, you will go for the shooting. Plus, you'll be grabbing a couple more tools here. Since I ran out of the LMG ammo, I didn't have any left. You have 60, you don't need to do this. You only need the shotgun. But we're going to be grabbing... We're going to be getting rid of the sword, and we're going to be grabbing another LMG. The LMG will always spawn if you do not have an LMG. So if you keep the LMG with you, you actually don't get that. So make sure that you get rid of your LMG during the Slappy fight, or you have enough ammo. If you have about 60, you're probably fine. Alright. I'm probably not going to die. We're good. Alright, so I'm going to play this safe, because I have a deep feeling that some of the mooks might kill me if I do not. We're hitting probably what used to be one of the hardest fights in the game. It is Randy. So, what Randy does is Randy is a chainsaw guy. He moves very fast and hits very hard. His gimmick is that he can only move fast in short bursts because, you know, he's fat. But the thing with Randy is that he will absolutely decimate you if you go in there with melee. We're not going to go in there with melee. It is much faster and safer to use guns. Now, if you have the LMG, I recommend using the LMG if you have full ammo. If you don't have full ammo, use the shotgun for this fight. The way it's going to work is we're going to just keep shooting Randy, unloading bullets on him, and swapping the sides of the pews. RNG is based on if Randy will actually try to chase you down each time. If he whiffs it, that's good. If you want something kind of like that, you might stop. You must make sure while doing this fight, you have at least 1 ammo left in your LMG. You need to keep the LMG in your inventory, because we're going to need it for the next area. So Randy's fight's actually really easy now. Just make sure you go back and forth. Right now, I'm going to swap over to the shotgun because Oh, there you are. I don't trust my ammo count. Randy? There. You can also unload the ammo pretty quickly. Randy's a big boy. He can take it. I got slash. That's fine. He's also humping the air. Hump no more, you monster. Yeah, Randy's based on the Dragonborn. He figured it out. That's right. When they made Skyrim, they actually had a Randy in mind. I don't know if this game came out before or after Skyrim, but that is exactly right. The shotgun's really powerful, so keep that in mind. Okay, before we actually go to the finale of this, though, we're actually going to go into this closet, this maintenance room, and we're going to make the knife boxing glove. It's probably one of the strongest weapons, as you may know casually, and it continues to be strong in the speedrun. When I was actually looking at the values between this and the laser sword, and the boxing glove is actually better per capita, per round. Pound for pound, as one might say. The reason why is because the boxing glove allows you to just use it more. It does the same damage, it has more usability, so we use it for the run. Plus, the LMG is combined with the bike to make a bike with a machine gun tied to it. This is going to be very useful for not only this mission, but another mission later. So check it out. We're going to beat the armored van with a gun. They're not going to be able to hit me as well, because they just don't really understand what to do with the motorcycle. And the armored van will go down. Let's see. Goes down clean. Exactly. Pound for pound. You know I like to pound. So let's go. Alrighty. So now that is done. First things first, keep in mind that van. The van's there right now, it'll disappear later. What we're going to be doing first off is we need to open up the looter shop. The looter shop is a thing in the game where you can buy things like Zombrex and a bunch of other combo weapons and stuff. And we're actually going to need it later for the game. We're going to take a quick moment right here to open it as we're heading over to the barbecue shop. Because the barbecue shop is in the game. That is where you kind of meet for one of the major missions. This is going to learn where we need $1 million. Hey, remember the camera trick, by the way? Let me show you something cool. It's fun. I won't forget the money, Cello. As it said, the donation. I need the donation. Where is the money? I will tell you where the money is. Also, neat trick. You can moon jump into the loading screen. Alright, so we use our Zombrex, and we're getting ready to fight Double D from Ed, Edd and Eddy. I'm not even kidding, the guy voice acting this next boss is Double D. And if you don't believe me, I'm gonna give you a more fun fact. The guy who voiced Slappy is actually Light Yagami from Death Note. The English voice actor, at least. So, if you like either of those things, well, like, they're in Dead Rising too. So there you go. Light Yagami. Why do I need the donation? Good question. Good question. Just had a thought? What's your thought? Oh, that'll be fun. I think that'll be fun, ever. Anyway, this fight will be very interesting. There's two modes, melee and range. You're only gonna get two. You can duck out the way. Keep in mind, though, Carl might do that. It's okay. I think the best strat might be to jump out of the way, but Carl's kind of annoying. The shotgun's gonna be much better. Oh, this is good. Well, it was good. The more shotguns, the better. I take the beer early, because while the boxing gloves are good for this, Carl can do the most damage, I think, like any psychopath in the game very quickly. For some reason, he has the ability to fully combo you with that spin attack. It's weird. The thing you think is strong is not the thing that's actually strong. Also, if he throws a bomb, he must roll out of the way. Alright, here we go. I'm going to get spam it. That's probably fine. Yep, there it is. I can probably take one more hit before I need to heal. Here we go. Also, keep in mind the idea of revenge values. We're going to roll out of the way for the bomb. I'm going to hide behind the cart, and we're going to drink. This is going to heal me. But you shouldn't have to heal for the rest of this fight, and as long as you just kind of move fast enough, you'll be fine. He won't be able to hit you. Timahu, thank you for tier 1 for 10 months. What's all this all about? I'm doing a commentator run for Dead Rising 2 off the record. Alright, almost done. One more to do it. Also, as you may notice, I'm going in slashes of 2 each time. The reason why is because not only does the revenge apply to the stun lock, it also applies to damage value. So you can't do a lot of damage if you're consistently hitting. You want to make sure that you have a little bit out there, which is important. Anyway, now that we're done with Carl, we're going to be hitting probably the hardest boss for most people. I still think Randy's the hardest, but I think people agree that the Rednecks are the toughest. The Rednecks are definitely tough, but I think if you know what you're doing and you kind of figure out the pattern, they definitely work out well. So, the Rednecks are going to be on 4 different roofs. They're going to talk about letting socialism into the U.S., and obviously we need to stop them. Something about that. Zombies are taking their jobs and all that. We're going to let the zombies take their jobs. So there are 4 Rednecks, and each of them have snipers. As well, if you leave them alive, they will shoot you in the overworld, which isn't very good. Is here your package? Of course. Yes, Kokona. It is now time to spam Kokona if you have it. I think it's a free emote on BTTV. I don't know how to do Deets Jump. Alright, so here's Johnny. All the Rednecks have the same strategy. You want to get close, and you want to slash. You actually want melee attacks to be attempted. You have to make sure they actually attempt them. You don't want them to get in this weird area where they keep pulling out one weapon and bringing out the other. You want to make sure they go for the slash. It's a very awkward weave here. Getting hits okay, because in the long run, it's going to be safer than the alternative. The reason why is because Rednecks have a mode called Hyper, which the Hyper mode will allow the Rednecks to infinitely fire their gun at you. That's really bad if they do that. It'll happen every time they are confused on their range. That usually happens if you're dodge rolling too much or you're weaving too much in and out. Like, kind of like that. Anyway, we're good there. I shouldn't need the health. We're going to take the sniper rifle, and that is the first Redneck done. The first Redneck you're going to use with boxing gloves. That was in Direct Cop. The next 2 we're actually going to be doing differently. We're going to be doing that, but that's for an Evan. That'll be the Evan skip. Is even possible RTA? Good to know. Good thing I'm not doing it. Alright, the next Redneck is going to be right across the street. And you may have noticed I picked up the sniper rifle. So, a fun cheese is you can actually do this for almost all the Rednecks if you're really nervous, after Johnny. Johnny's the only one you can't do it because you don't have a sniper rifle. However, on top of the Atlantica, we're going to have Derek, I think. I think this guy should be Big Earl, but he's Derek for some reason. If you need to heal, by the way, there's whiskey on every fight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot him, and then I'm immediately going to try ducking to the side. What I want Derek to do is, actually, I want him to go hyper mode. I want him to try shooting me as fast as possible. The reason why is because if he does that, he'll be shooting the wall each time, as you can see here. Since he's now in hyper, he's lost control of his emotions. I'm now going to keep pumping him full of sniper rounds while waiting. I'm waiting because, once again, every boss does have the idea if you do too much damage, it won't count. So I'm kind of letting that fall-off period happen, and I'm waiting for those big red chunks. You're doing this right if you're kind of seeing that kind of health drop. Alright, good. You'll usually be left anywhere from, like, I would say, let's say 5 to 1 bullet, if you're doing it right. And we're also going to replace our sniper rifle every single time. Okay, so this is the hardest one, I think. I would say this is the hardest one just because it's annoying. So, the reason why this one's annoying is for 2 reasons. 1, we have things to do. First things first, don't be a dummy like me. We're going to be grabbing the money out of the Atlantica. If you remember, we had a mission earlier where we broke the van trying to steal money. We're going to steal that money. And it's kind of like the Megamind meme. You've saved us, you're a hero. No, I'm not. It's just under new management. So is this money. And now I have $1 million. We stole half the money and we stole the other half of the money. We probably stole all the money. But now we have $1 million. And that's going to be good for us. That's also going to let me take a special route later. Now, this is the weirdest one because this is the only one that actually spawns in the map. Like, the other ones you have to go to their hiding spot, but Big Earl's already on the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment to clear the zombies because the zombies are quite annoying. And what I'm going to do is every time I fire at Big Earl, I'm going to drop the look animation because I want to make sure that no zombies are getting near me. And I'm going to fire right between this hole. The reason why is because if Big Earl wants to hit me, he won't be able to. And I will also be able to just kind of avoid everything. The fight's quite hard, especially to do melee. It's not really worth it. Getting to him is not easy. He will try to hit you the whole time you're going there, so make sure that you are just getting... This is why you don't want to let the zombies near you. It's a good case example. There are ways, technically, to avoid this entirely, but it's not really feasible. You can also see the dilemma with the zombies we have here. Plus, you have to be very careful with your management of resources. If you run out of... Oh my god. How do I dick? Oh my god, am I gonna die? No. No, I'm not gonna die. That's fine. There's no health around. You can kind of tell this fight's less of a boss fight with Big Earl, and it's more a boss fight with the zombies. Especially since I lost my weapon. That's kind of the worst part. Alright. Oh, come on. Just get the kick. Jump kick's really the only good attack you got going on. This is also a terrible fight. Normally this fight's just terrible. Wow. Do not kill me. There, he's dead. Now, the cool part is once he dies, he drops all his stuff. So, once again, for safety, you can take his sniper rifle, and you can also take the whiskey and the beer, or the beer up here. Zombies are annoying. That's all I can really say here. Zombies are very annoying. Now, for the final fight, we're actually going to be grabbing another boxing glove. So it's kind of funny that, like, 3 of the closets in this game give you the knife glove. I don't know why. Like, they really wanted you to use the knife glove. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. And you can always find the resources in these ones. Now, the reason why they put them here is because the game wants you to experiment with different combo lockers. It's like, oh, this combo locker has some cool stuff in it. You should come here. So, that's why they put that there. Anyway, on to the last one. Before we get to this fight, though, we're actually making a drink in jugs. Dude, don't you want to eat at jugs? So, we're going to combine whiskey and whiskey to make the perfect combination of drink. It's a painkiller. So, ideally, you don't want to use this, actually. You should try doing the fight without taking any damage. If you do, just come back down here and make another one. You will need painkiller for later, but you can use it during this fight if needed. Remember, the combination is whiskey and whiskey. Now, we're going to be fighting Deets. Yes, like Deets nuts. Haha, I get it. Deets can be kind of awkward in his corner, and I don't know why. I will mention as well, he has a lot of snacks up here if you just want to try going that way for the health. It is okay. Eating hits A-okay as long as you don't let him go into hyper. Hyper is kind of what you saw Derek go into earlier. It's that thing where he's going to keep rapid firing the whole time. Going into hyper is very bad, and it mainly happens if you're doing really quick dodges trying to avoid any hit. You have to thread the needle very tight. Am I gonna die? No, actually I didn't. Good. Alright, barely thread the needle there. Also, while I'm making this, let me get your burger, homie. Alright. Luckily, he had food. It wasn't a great fight. This is a pretty rough Rednecks, but you know what? I'll take it. We made it. And remember, to never underestimate your opponent. That's the general idea of what you want to do for each of the Rednecks. It's why it's one of the tougher fights in the game. If you really do want to play it safe, though, you can do the sniper strat for all of them. They're all victim to the same strat as Derek and Big Earl. You can do the snipers. The only thing, though, is keep in mind, with Johnny, you have to fight him normally. Technically, it doesn't have to be Johnny, but I think he's the easiest to fight, too, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, now we're going down to the Fortune City Arena. This is going to lead me over to the South Plaza, or like, you know, the area with all the construction. That's going to have our next boss, Seymour. Seymour is probably, I think, the hardest hitting boss in the game, just because he doesn't really have a distinct dodge pattern. He's just going to kind of wail on you, and there's not really a better strat than just kind of eat it. Like, the reason why I say certain bosses are harder than others, because, like, alright, on the one hand, Seymour can kill you better, but you have time to make Painkiller, you have the resources in a higher level. While with Carl, the mailman, like, he's always going to be able to do that to you, and you can really underestimate his power, it can go wrong. So while Seymour is a bit tougher in that regard, we have Painkiller, so it's not really going to matter. If you have trouble, it's really easy to heal during this fight. I also recommend dropping the board a bit earlier. Also correct, it is Seymour butts, or better, Seymour asses. Jumping out of the way could work against Seymour, but you kind of see how fast he attacks. Like, this is kind of what I'm meaning. Like, he won't attack you on the ground like Carl does, but he will absolutely just, like, chain everything. Plus, if you try doing ranged attacks, he will decide to, try to beat you down. Like, he'll shoot the gun out of your hand. He's one of the weirdest bosses that you want to go with, melee. It's really weird. Anyway, Painkiller is really good because it both refills me to full health, and it makes me take half health damage. So, he doesn't really know what to do. Plus, if zombies get involved, he'll try attacking the zombies for some reason. This is how a regular Seymour fight might go. And we're almost done. Alright, Seymour is done. Now, the most important part of the Seymour fight is Seymour drops another 60 shooter. That's a special weapon. It's the 60 shooter. So we're going to be taking that. Alright, now it is time for one of the... Also, hold on. Now it is time for one of the bosses that's not really a boss. I hope you're ready for it. Also, how's it going, Good to see you. Also, Pluby, good to see you. The mailman, you're the very same. How's it, Victor? Good to see you. So, this boss isn't so much of a boss fight. Den Rising always has, like, a character that's, like, their boss fight's not traditional. How's it going, Virtual? You're doing good. Good to see you again. This boss fight is BB Love. BB Love isn't really meant to be a kill boss. It's meant to be, you have to do a bunch of errands. So we're going to put on this tuxedo. Her boss is very simple once you know what you're doing. You need a drink, you need a tuxedo, and then you're going to need zombies. We have 2 of the 3. Yes, we beat Suck Green. More like Suck! So, now that I've grabbed the beer from Seymour, we can immediately go to this fight. BB is going to be very angry, and if you hit her or try to fight her, she'll kill everybody, which is bad. So, we're gonna give BB a beer. The funniest part is you can give BB, like, a whole handle of whiskey, and she'll, like, chug it. Alright, now she asks for fans. The way this is going to work is we are going to be grabbing firecrackers in the back. This will create noise, so really quickly I'm just gonna throw one. Kind of start getting the zombies over. This section's actually RNG dependent. You need zombies to follow you. So I want to try gathering as many zombies as I can. I'm hoping to God they'll all come. Usually they don't. Looks like they're trying to start. Looks like they're starting. So let's try gathering them together. This section's mostly RNG, I feel. While you can definitely make it a bit more optimized, and there's things you can do to make it better, there's definitely a lot of RNG to be had here. So just sort of keep that in mind as you go. Plus, the zombies will attack you and go for the firecrackers. We're actually doing quite good. Also, I learned in a sitch, if a zombie is near, you can actually kick them. Give you a beer? I know you want a beer. This is actually very good zombie RNG. There we go. BB will let you know once you're all good, you talk to her one more time, and then you play a mini-game. So, the mini-game is just a simple rhythm mini-game. Enjoy the music. Oh, a rhyme, of course. So, the way this works is for some reason you might fail the second game. I don't know why. It doesn't matter if you fail the second game, just get as many right as you can. Just try not to fail too many. Also, if you're low on health, you can save BB if you want. We're not going to. But if you're low on health, you can. There's the failure I talked about. I show your mom? I don't know. Her hair looks nice? I suppose. You want a beer too? We all have 20 Natterdays? Why did you buy all the Natterdays? You were tempted. Hey, after 5, they're good. Well, there you go. Anyway, that is BB Love. We're gonna ignore BB. If you want to save her, you can. We're not going to. We're also gonna be getting her clothing back. This is a simple tuxedo change. I like how BB's cool with you wearing the face paint and the Viking helmet, but otherwise you don't get that. Oh, I was gonna say, Sam Sham, good to see you. So, now that I've gotten the money and everything else, we're actually going to be able to make a nice little route change here. Like I mentioned, going through the little plazas is slightly more efficient because you get the loads each time, and it's just like, it's a segmented path. So it's slightly shorter, but it's also not. It's a weird difference, so just keep that in mind. We're going to be able to go here. Also, you need $1 million, because for the 5-2, it's going to cost $1 million to go. You do get the money back, but the game forces you to get the money, so keep that in mind. Oh, I did it earlier today, too. I actually did it twice. I just failed the game. I failed the game roughly around the PB mission last time. And the run died, I think, on the twins. Alright. So, oh, that makes sense, Wonders. That makes sense. At this point, I have the 6-shooter still, the 60-shooter still. I have the sniper rifle, and I also have the LMG and a jump scare zombie. I'm gonna get the LMG once again. You get a lot of LMGs, as you can see, and the LMG is going to be our friend for this fight. If you do need a shotgun, there is a shotgun around the area, but we're not gonna need it quite yet. I kind of want to keep the LMG and the 60-shooter. That should be enough for what we're doing with the fight. If you need to heal, those beers are actually your marker for the fight, so keep that in mind. Alright, now, pick your favorite color, gold or silver, that's who you're killing. Do not focus on the other one, only fire at gold or silver, depending on who you pick. The general idea is you're fast enough to kind of avoid their attacks. You can kind of weave back in to kind of keep baiting them and keep them on their toes. Only do that for doing flip, and make sure they don't double team you. It'll be the worst threesome you ever had. Get it? Frank's immature. Anyway, let's start over to this now. Also, she is showing full ass at me. Good. Good fight. So we're going to be trying to keep a little bit of both. I don't totally need a maximized LMG, but I do need an LMG. It is food for thought right there. Alright, up next, we are going to be going to the mall once again, the Palisades. This is probably the most fun boss fight in the whole game. The reason why is because this doesn't really make sense. It's probably the most glitched thing we have in this whole game, and the reason why makes sense once you understand it. We're going to be fighting the helicopter fight, and normally this fight's really difficult, but the thing with the helicopter fight is it's really not that bad if you know what you're doing. And trust me, I know what I'm doing. So there we go. You may notice I'm keeping the LMG and I am keeping the 60-shooter. The reason why is because I'm going to be needing that for a couple of TK's goons. TK's goons are going to be required to be killed, and while I can kill them with the 60-shooter, I do need ammo for the upcoming fight because I'll be using the 60-shooter on Evan the Clown. He is one of the game's weirder fights, and it's really good that we have the gun, let's just say that. Guns are effective on some bosses quite a lot. There we go. You bet I do? For what? Also, no, there's no theoretical CBT category. No. There's the helicopter. We're gonna be breaking it. Know what I'm doing? Well, thank you. Although, the smug face makes me think you have ill intentions on something. I was gonna be you. Alright, so now that we're here, TK's goons will be firing at zombies. Get your gun out and start unloading. Once again, these guys also have other guns, so you can actually steal a gun if you're running low on ammo. Also, Xerax, thank you very much for the Prime Gaming for 6 months. Enjoy now the green scissors, and thank you. Welcome to the swarm. Oh, you're already here. Enjoy the green scissors and the emotes, and thank you, Xerax. Anyway, don't blink. The toy ray gun decimates the helicopter. The reason why is because the game doesn't want to totally shaft you during this fight. So what happens instead is the toy ray gun will fire throwable weapons. Throwable weapons are used for that fight because they do an immense amount of damage to the chopper. Since I'm doing an immense amount of damage, well, the game doesn't really know what it wants to do. It just assumes I'm firing like 8 spotlights at once, and it does the damage accordingly, which ends the fight immediately. So if you are in a sitch and you don't have the ray gun, throw a spotlight. It'll do a lot of damage at once. That's kind of the intended way. You dodge, you throw, you keep going. Otherwise, you could bring guns, but just bring a toy ray gun. It's better. Alrighty, so now, time for another fun part. I have $1 million. We're actually we're gonna be boosting it on up right now, because I have money. So, with the donation, what I can finally do is I can go to the looter shop that I opened up earlier in the game. It's this one up here. This one has the car and the Blambo. We're going to be buying both of these items. I'll be looting them from right here. The car will be used for an escort mission, and the Blambo will just be generally good. Plus, in addition to this, I will also be getting coffee creamer. Alright, we're now able to jump. Bounce. You can bounce, too. Bounce. Okay, so one of the weird things, before we go to the Evan the Clown fight, I actually do need to make the boxing gloves. We do need one more round of knife boxing gloves. It'll be right here once again. So, we're going to be needing this for not Evan himself, but the following fight. We're also going to be doing a new glitch. The way this is going to work is I am going to build up some speed. Once I have enough speed, I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to do a moon jump right about here. I barely missed it. Let's keep trying until I get it, shall we? Alright, second try. So now I'm going into the void. Going into the void is actually going to warp me down to the southbound arena. And that's going to be much faster than walking. And it just warps me straight to the Evan fight. Alright, so now the Evan fight. We're going to keep shooting him. This is exclusive to this one, because otherwise you don't really need to be down here. What Evan will do is he will try throwing ice grenades at you, and he'll try shooting you. If he hails, that will slow down the area. If he fires the grenade, that will allow him to break your feet and kick you in the face. You want to make sure you kind of do the slow tapping with Evan. You don't want to tap too fast. Also, you don't want to get caught by any of the ice grenades. The ice grenades are pretty rough if you get caught in, because he will do a lot of damage, and he will kick you. You may notice an aiming at the dick. That's fully intentional. I like doing that. I think it's funny. Snowball is good, and just make sure you kind of keep the pace up. You don't want to run entirely out of ammo. It's fine. Good. Phase 2 now. He's going to run up to us. Yeah, sweet. How's it going? So this one, you fire a little bit faster. I fire to the beat of the music. You actually can do damage if he jumps on you, because you punt him. Yes, you actually punt him, and it's as funny as it sounds. Well, Evan, I didn't want to do this. Evan, get back here. There, he's down. You don't normally need to do that, but I ran out of ammo, as you can see, which is actually intended. I wanted to run out of ammo. Now, before the next fight, we're actually going to be doing this, and we're going to be grabbing the motorcycle. The motorcycle's gonna be much better. Weird clown? I mean, he's mad that you killed his brother, so I get it. That was hot? Yeah, the new strat's really good. It still looks like I lost time. If you get first try, you save 20 seconds. So, get it first try. But that's the new strat. It's actually not that hard to do. I just kind of missed the first one because I didn't prepare the moon jump enough. Alright, so now, remember, don't blink. No, not that one. Get off. No, not like that, Frank. No, not like that, Frank. Stop it. Thank you. That guy cracked me up. Haha, I get it. I am. Alright, so first things first, you actually want to get the LMG. There's going to be an LMG in this fight once again. The LMG is going to be very good, as you can imagine. There's also going to be a drink, but we'll be getting that later. Don't worry about that. Not drink, the magazine. We'll begin that magazine shortly after the fight. But we will need the LMG. This fight is... At this point, I think it's one of the harder ones, but I don't think it's the hardest. I just think if you don't get it set up properly, it's pretty damn rough. So, I did make the boxing gloves. I have the Blambo. The Blambo is very weird, because Reed and Roger have weaknesses. That is their gimmick. Every boss fight in this game has kind of a gimmick. Roger's is that he's afraid of the light. So, if you hit him with any kind of firework kind of attack, what will happen is he will get scared, as you can see there. They all have their weaknesses. Also, I whipped that entirely. Oh, God. Also, cool music. I'm getting rammed currently, that's fine. It's better to take out Roger early, because Reed you want to get lost anyway. Okay. I'm just going to reload this. I'm just gonna reload it. Okay. Alright, so that's fine. Once again, Roger gets scared, and he eats a load of damage. Also, keep in mind, that will work every single time that, oh god. Don't kill me, please. Am I dead? No. He's running. Didn't scare him. Alright. We can actually get a hit on Reed right now. So Reed's weakness is he is weak on the back. So if you stealth kill Reed, he'll actually eat more damage. Alright, almost done. And Roger. Roger is down. And now it is time for Reed. So Reed actually has two methods of being dealt with. One, the backslashes are really good. Two, you can actually just shoot him to death. Also, we're going to use the Blambo, because the Blambo does good damage. You may imagine, it is a lot safer just to shoot Reed. Reed is kind of the annoying one, because he can drop your weapons, he can ram you. Yes, that's how you're supposed to kind of know, but the Blambo works unintendedly, Victigos. That's actually a very good question, but that's why the Reed-Roger fight works. The deadly attacks actually is Reed's ram. Also, I'm actually kind of good. Oh, no, I'm not. I got money off that, but not quite what I wanted. Wrong way. Alright, this might be a better strat, by the way. So that was very good. We have now dealt with Reed. And Reed and Roger are fine. I could have done that a lot better if I was a bit more cautious, but that's okay. Also, funny enough, I don't think I have to actually worry about my LMG. Normally the LMG does have a bit of concern, but we're actually not doing too bad here. Alright, so let's go. Last but not least, we're actually going to be making one more last stop. And the last stop is going to be grabbing that magazine I talked about. So this magazine is going to be a bit questionable. It is going to power up juice. We've used a few juices throughout the game, and we're using yet another one. So, the juice boost. What this is going to do is it's going to allow me to keep my stuff much more faster. Or much longer. I did kill Hasselhoff. Reed is probably the hardest. Also, Off the Record is supposed to be an add-on, kind of like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. It happens whenever a game's out long enough and they kind of want to just re-release it. That's why. It probably just had bonus ideas they couldn't quite fit in ways they wanted to change the game. Like, Evan doesn't really work for, what's his name? Chuck. So, you know. Also, the cool part about Dead Rising 2 Off the Record is it's very easy just to reload a save point. Like, if you're having trouble in a fight, just reload. If you're really lost that much, it doesn't lose you a lot of time. You just lose the time of the fight, and you can just sort of keep it going at that point. Alright, anyway, gas zombies are out now. That means the game's going to be awful going forward. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over to this bar. This bar is going to have two purposes. One, there is the mixed drink we're making. It is going to be coffee creamer and orange juice. First, ew. Second, get rid of your boxing gloves. You don't need them anymore. And we're going to be grabbing a shotgun from the back. We're hitting one of the... I think casually this fight is mean. I never thought this fight was hard, especially in off the record. But casually this fight can be kind of rough. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be fighting the Boykin. He is the military officer who now has PTSD because of all the toxic zombies killing his friends and comrades. We're going to be using a shotgun and an LMG. If possible, I actually don't want to use any LMG rounds. I kind of want to keep those for myself. I don't need another LMG because I should be able to keep the LMG I have for the rest of the game. It's kind of funny. You need the LMG, but not for the reason you think. Actually, I guess it is the reason you think at this point. But the quick step will be needed because I'm going to have to be doing an escort later, and I don't have any cars for that escort. So I'll have to walk very slow if I want to do that, instead of the usual speed of skateboards or cars. Alright, so this fight, same tricks, to be right and left, and we want to get right in range of Boykin. He might throw a grenade, that is okay. You want to stay in range, pumping shotgun rounds into him and dodging him. If he strikes you, get out of the way. If he rolls, approach. This is the general move you want to do here. It's going to be like a Dark Souls boss. You try to get full body shots with the shotgun, and I keep this pace up. If you get too far away, he'll shoot you, and you'll be hemorrhaging health. If you get too close, he'll knock you down, and as you guessed it, you'll be hemorrhaging health. So, I like to kind of wait for a melee attack for the last one or something else. Let's see. If you do run low on ammo, by the way, there's a lot of guns in the arena, but this should be fine. I think it'll be fine. There we go. So that is the Boykin fight. Also, I didn't get the gun in time. That is okay. We're going to be grabbing this assault rifle, and we're now going to be talking to Rebecca. Drink the quick step, and then pick her up. So, I picked up the assault rifle because I need a weapon later. I picked up the LMG because I'm going to need that gun later. Also, the quick step, I have the juice boost, so the quick step will last even longer than usual. This only really works in this category because the main category, time skip new game, it doesn't actually take you to a route where you'll be able to get the juice boost. However, now we have the juice boost, so we can just sort of use it longer. Also, we get to carry Rebecca and her assets. You know what that means, huh? Also, Reed does ram attacks. Hope you're having a good day, by the way. Also, I'm missing anyone in chat. I do apologize. Today's a little bit more charged. By that, I'm doing a lot of specific commentary. I'm kind of like just making sure I don't mess up. I've had earlier mistakes. It's looking good so far. That was out of work. Good to see you. Right now, we're just running Rebecca back. It's nothing too crazy here. A simple run back. And you may have remembered, we bought a car for $1 million. Why did we buy the car? Well, we bought the car because of blank. No deaths, but I did reload Reed. I didn't die to Reed. I probably could have been fine if I had kept going. I just didn't, like... It wasn't a spot where they were too far away from each other for my liking. Exactly. There's a good time for donations. Donations. Someone say donations? Anyway, the $1 million car is still here, so we can now take this. And that's going to work for Rebecca escorting in the ending. Also, I like to try to get Rebecca stuck on the right, because in theory, if you are able to get her totally stuck, she'll pop out on your side. It doesn't happen, though. Just go get her. You can have quick step all the way later on. I did, yeah. It wasn't that bad. Remember Dead Rising? Dead Rising 1. It's not Rebecca Black. It's Rebecca Chang.
Let's go. Follow me. Speed it up.
Alright, now we have back Rebecca Chang. So, this is kind of a weird mission, and before I began the game, I opened up Task Manager. The reason why is because there's a weird bug that happens on certain versions of this game. I don't know why. It's a PC difference, that's it. Some PCs don't have the issue, some do. At the end of this mission, you might get stuck in an infinite loading screen. The way to get rid of that is you have to turn the game from multi-core to single-core in the Affinity on Windows Task Manager. It's weird. It only happens to me. Sad stuff. Also in Pregario. Alright. So we're getting these 3 supplies. Also, the juice boost is nice because it actually lasts us decently during this mission. So we can kind of just go freely during it, as you can see. Also, don't worry about the zombies. They will attack your comrades, but they won't really attack you. It's kind of funny. You think they might, but nope, they don't really care. Also, for some reason, survivors just melt, and I never understood why. More like suck green, or more like suck bean. Alright. Also, everyone is dying. My god. I've never seen them die this quickly. That's unlucky. Alright, now that they've gotten the 3 items, we can head back up. Oh my god! It's a bloodbath. Alright, so the way to know if you have the bug is, once you're here, it won't revert back to the camera that you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start on this, and I'm going to Alt-Tab. Also, oh, that's fine. By doing that, you'll see the screen get a lot laggier. I have swapped over to a single core setting. And now it's super laggy. You do lose a little bit of time, this glitch happens to you, it's okay. Don't worry about the lag that's happening always around. You have to have it lag a lot, or else the game will crash. Because now you can see it loads you back to Frank. I'm not sure why. Alright, and now I'm actually going to get my affinity back to all processors, and now we are back in the game. Okay. Yes, that's the whole point. It's not just you, that's the whole point of Dead Rising. Okay, so don't forget about TK. You do need to give him Zombrex. For all bosses, we are getting the best ending here. This is one of the extra Zombrexes that we managed to buy, so make sure you give it to TK. It's very important. Also, my board should be good for the rest of the game, I believe, unless it shows red, which you can replace it later. So we're going to one of our final cases before we hit the final boss rings. There's going to be a lot of final boss stuff, and the last case is really going to be just beating... Actually, this is technically the final boss rush. We have the hardest boss in the game coming up, 8-2. It's going to be the scientists. So it's funny, because nobody actually realizes it, but in the game's code, these guys are bosses. Like, you wouldn't assume, given that how easy the fight's actually going to be, but the game considers these guys to be bosses, so they're bosses. It's kind of funny, and I'm not sure why. Also, my board is red, so I'll probably get a new board near the next part of the game, once I head back. As I still do need a board to be good. I can't totally abandon my board just yet. That's fine. Good job, Frank. I'm proud of you. That would be fine. I'm kind of nervous about my boarding. I should have refreshed it. Out of the way. I'll have to walk back like an animal if I mess it up. We're going to go through the side entrance. There's a side entrance here. This takes you to the garage, or the underground access tunnels. Through here, this will immediately put you towards the entrance where we're able to go to the scientist area. It's the central HVAC. Now, weird thing about Dead Rising 2 off the record is they put military guys here, or the Phenotrans guys. I'm not sure why they did it, because this is exclusive to this game. They actually made this section harder for some reason. But now they're here, so pushing the button requires you to actually go through them. Anyway, grab the assault rifle. The reason why is because we have a fight coming up. These guys, we're going to need the bullets for them. Kill the 2 on the there first, because these guys might be able to hit you, but those 2 will definitely prevent you from going. If you really feel ballsy, you can avoid them entirely, but I don't recommend doing that. Also, time for the hardest boss fight in the game. Hope you're ready. It's going to be 2 nerds. Mark and Pierce. Alright, they're dead. GG. That's it. That's the fight. Give me that back. That's it. For some reason, they're considered bosses. I don't judge the game, but, like, it's straight up in the code that, like, it lists them as bosses, both in the achievements and the time skip mod, everything. 1 HP? It's only like 100 HP. Technically. We're actually going to be going through the sex shop once again, which don't worry, I'll have plenty of vodka in the sex shop. Alright, where is it? There's vodka in here, I know there is. Where's the vodka? Am I screwed? Wait, there's vodka in here. Oh god, there's no vodka! There's vodka in here. One of the upcoming areas will have it. Well, hopefully I don't die. I was gonna Red Rocket, we're doing good. In the helicopter was harder? It probably was. A dry, I can't believe it. Oh, you drank the vodka. Well, Pragari, you've killed my run. I hope you're happy. Well, don't worry, the drive back is very safe. Yes, the drive. So at this point, it doesn't really matter if my board is broken, because I can just do this. Luckily for us, we have like a straight up a whole car. And while we're here, I am just going to be getting a new skateboard. And we're going to be taking the big sip. And you know what? How about a hot dog to wash that drink down? Alright, now that I got a new board, I won't need a new board for the rest of the game. I am eating a bit of time loss there. It is okay. And 1/3? I'm not going to risk it. I still have a lot of game left. And there's a lot of zombies I'm just going to eat later. Oh, no, not there, not there, not there. Exactly. It's great. Exactly. Glizzy guzzling champion, Frank West. Alright, now it is time for the final actual bosses. Because I mentioned the final boss of the scientist. But now we're kind of hitting the endgame phase. This is entirely different than Dead Rising 2 base or all new content. What's going to happen is we need to break a bunch of harvesters. These are going to be machines around the area, and they're going to be in the plaza. They're going to be hitting really hard because they have guards around them. The guards make you puke, actually. It's kind of disgusting. We're going to ignore that. So, fun fact, it's actually going to be faster to go the way you don't think you want to go. So instead of going left, we're going to be going right. The reason why is because it's faster to leave into the main silver strip, plaza. I was in a private gamer, hope you're doing good. It is going to be faster to get to the plaza by going through the Americana. And although the Americana is further away than the motorcycle, it doesn't matter because I can actually just... Oh god, there's a few. Thanks, game. Oh my god. This is why the endgame's not fun, by the way. Wow. Okay. That's neat. Neat. That was vastly unlucky. If you want to see the difference in stuff, check this out. Hey, look, I didn't get hit by BS that time. I literally couldn't move. I got hit by puke, and then I got hit by a gas zombie. This is why the endgame sucks. There's a lot of enemies that just make you not move. Luckily, like I mentioned, the game's super safe at keeping you alive. Anyway, the reason why going through the Americana is better is because the Americana will actually just drop you straight into the same place every time. The game kind of assumes you probably left through the main plaza, so it puts you at the end of that main plaza. It's a rare chance that doesn't normally happen. But like I said, be able to react to anything. Plus, if you're thinking, why don't I just go to the main plaza, it's safer. No, it's not. Same thing will happen to you there, too. You're a fool. Alright, the LMG is finally used on the motorcycle. If you have, like, as much health as I do right now, it's probably a smart idea to just do the harvester. Running low on health, what you can do instead is you can talk to these guys, Private Cuss and Sergeant Wu. There are survivors that will be with you for quite a while if you decide to stick with them. We're not going to get them though, because honestly, I don't think I need them. We can do harvesters pretty fast. Don't waste your bullets. If you waste your bullets, you won't quite be able to shoot all the harvesters. So keep that in mind. The harvesters are going to be the same order. There are 4 in this little section. There's 2 up top. So we're going to be going in a little donut. You know what they say, we go nuts for donuts. Something like that. I think that's right. That's what I used to say at my old job. I don't work there anymore. I don't think there's a correlation. I don't think. There might be. I don't think there is. But I could be wrong. Oh yeah, doing this on the motorcycle would be terrible. Doing this with the motorcycle is much better. I don't have to really worry about the whole boss section here because, guess what? I can just sort of ignore all of them. Because I just shoot them like I did earlier with the van. And the reason why we go for this one last is because it will teleport me in front of Uranus at the very end of this. Also, yes, I'm aware it's called Uranus Zone. I'm not going to say the zone part. I think it's funnier not to. So they're going to put me in front of Uranus, chat. And now we're here. We're going to load the game. The reason why we do this is because it will remove all the soldiers in the area. They will no longer be fighting me. They're gone. Now, but you're wondering, Igdisis, you don't have any weapons. How are you going to beat the final bosses? Well, I don't actually need weapons. It's kind of weird. You don't actually need them, because you're getting them during the final boss. The best weapons for the final boss are, oddly enough, right next to the final bosses. Yes, bossies, both of them. For the first boss, we're going to be fighting the dubstep boss. The what? The yes. Remember 2011? First things first, I'm going to be getting the combo weapon back here. If you're doing this two-player, you can actually have one of your partners make this while you do the fight. It's kind of cool. But we're going to be making this combo weapon. It's called the Exsanguinator. I found this strat out. It does really well in Phase 2 of this fight. It's going to be a 3-phase fight. Phase 2 is normally kind of a pain. This is making it much easier. What we're going to do now is we're going to be grabbing the OJ and the vodka. That's going to be good for health, and we're going to take the sledgehammer. So, there's RNG. What you want is big, meaty slams. Kind of like that one. That was a big, meaty slam. Whenever you get a big, meaty slam, you're just going to keep wailing on it from the side. You can do a lot of damage per hit. Just keep going until it raises up. Ideally, that's what you want. I recommend standing roughly about here. If you get that, you can wait back a little bit. Oh, I thought that was going to be a different attack. Yeah, sometimes you just have to wait. This fight's pretty RNG-based. If you want to be ballsy as well, you can kind of roll into the hit, and you can try dodging it to get a little bit closer. Also, that's really good. Now, another fun part about this is it's actually RNG. So depending on the hit you get, it is entirely up to her. This is a good hit, so we're going to roll. And cool. That's very good. Very cool game. Alright, phase 1 is done. We're going to phase 2. Every phase, she'll kind of break off a piece of her armor. Ooh. Alright, so now we're getting the Exsanguinator. We're going to start it back here, and now we have saw blades. So, what she's going to do is she's going to pincer her hands into the ground. We're then going to exsanguinate. It's funny because doing this is still faster than just doing the fight normally. What you want is you want her to get her hands stuck in the ground to some degree. Alright, one more. Use it to pay for that, right? Alright, this is really good RNG, by the way. The game's finally paying off. Alright, we get rid of the Exsanguinator now. It's fine. Final phase, the dubstep is gone. You've survived, chat. You've done it. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the rockets. There's technically an RNG strat you can get. I've never actually gotten it single player. But you need to kind of get her down from her perch. This is still RNG. If she goes up and you fire rockets, they don't count. So you want to fire the rockets while she's in the mid, and then you want to approach her. This will knock her down. It looks like she kind of decided to do a dick move to me and go up. But like I said, it's entirely RNG. By the way, this loses a lot of time as well, because you actually need to wait for the rocket to come back online. If she decides to slam you, that's the best RNG. That's also good RNG right there. So, after the rockets, she'll fall down, and you can QTE her. It's all QTEs. Do not mess them up. They're not the same QTEs either, so don't try to be cheeky. Shug an OJ. That's fine. In theory, if I dodged that, I may have been able to hop on that, but it's not always possible. That's kind of more the ideal attack. Right now, I need to wait for the rockets to come back online, or I need to get a tough slam. While we're waiting, we're just going to keep dodging until that turns green and that turns green. We need both. Like I mentioned, the attacks are entirely RNG, so kind of just keep an eye out for that. By the way, if I got any of these attacks earlier, that would have been really good. Alright, so that's good. Alright, phase 2. Also, try not to go under her. She can knock you out of bounds. B, X, B, A. Hey, it was A. Can't believe it. That seems scripted. It's not. I just always guess a certain letter. Alright, last one. Alright, good. And we're almost done. Last section. All I have to do is run on up, and if you're doing regular time skip, what's going to happen is the run will end right here. However, we're doing all bosses, so we are going to be continuing... Also, bop. We'll be continuing the fight, because we still have to deal with TK. So now that Stacy is down, we still have a game to go. There's also two things that might happen at this point. Your game likely will bug out, and you probably get something called wonky boarding. Wonky boarding could be good, but it's also probably pretty rough. Oh, so let's drink the vodka. I'd rather not die. Wonky boarding is kind of... I'll show you what it is before actually getting rid of it. Unless it's really bad, then I might have to get rid of it. How's it going, Max? Oh, I got really bad. Never mind. So wonky boarding either throws you in a random direction or it can make you fly. If it makes you go in random directions, you have to get rid of it. You can't skateboard without it. Otherwise, you can have a rare chance where the game will just let you fly. So you'll constantly be flying up in the air with the skateboard, and it's kind of funny. Anyway, we're doing a scavenger hunt now. That's the whole overtime. It's kind of like the regular overtime, but without the clean requirement, meaning it's better. It's the best joke. We all know Frank doesn't dig flat chicks. I don't dig flat chicks. I get it. He doesn't like flat-chested women. And Stacy was flat-chested. She was also crushed like a pancake. That's the joke. Thank you, Capcom Vancouver. I didn't understand. Anyway, each of these will be in the same spot, so it's mostly supply gathering. Also, my favorite part is you can actually play the tape over and over again. So, I have my own laugh track. And that's the best part of the game. All these jokes? You wanna hear a good joke? Suck green. I laughed. I mean, I don't know if you laughed, but I laughed. I'll never get tired of that. It will never get old. Alright, so, we're gonna be getting a lot of stuff. It's funny because a lot of these would kind of be around the area of the game which you would normally be getting them. But for overtime here, it's actually pretty fun because it's just a fun scavenger hunt. So we've already been to a lot of these areas, so you've already done a lot of the stuff here. As long as you know what you're doing, it's really not that bad. The order is super simple, and I kind of like overtime. I kind of wonder what running overtime like usual will be. But I've never done it. The main thing I would say here is remember, like, you need to make sure you get each of the items. It's way too easy to kind of forget one item. I've done that a lot, especially with the one in the Silver Strip Plaza. There's just a lot of cases where you just miss it entirely. By the way, if you're wondering, how do I know where to go? The map will help you if you really get lost. So if you really are struggling, the map does exist. The map's pretty good. There's also what I mentioned about needing to know the lay of the land. So if you know the casino well enough, it's not going to be a huge deal, because you can just sort of make your way through. I think the most important thing to know is just know the sex shop. Oh, there you go, Unnatural. Post this message if you dig someone as a flat chick. So, this is the one I think people miss a lot. This one. I know this because I miss this a lot. And it's just the champagne right here.
Sure, drink up. Make my job easier.
So, don't miss it, because while the sex shop's right here, you have to go back. Ah, yes. I appreciate the posting. I encourage it. Post this message if you dig someone that's a flat chick. That's fair.
Hey, any leads?
Poor TK. So that's the main thing to just remember. Don't go to the sex shop before you got the champagne. Also, if you did manage to get wonky boarding, there's a very minor amount of time saved, but it's inconsistent. You can technically fly up the escalator. Like, you literally just fly and kind of skip the whole barrier that I'm going here, which is slightly faster if you manage it. However, the downsides totally outweigh the upsides, so it's kind of better just to, if you really went for a serious time, just get rid of wonky boarding. It's fun though. Most people like to use it. All right, almost done. We're going back to the Atlantica now. Like I mentioned, the arrow above you will always lie to you. The arrow is not your friend. The arrow has never been your friend, chat. They only seek to do harm. That happened yesterday. What, wonky boarding? Yeah, we did that. We did the flying yesterday. Although I whipped the trick. Like, it gave me the bad version because it can, again, it's RNG. It's super inconsistent. Like, it can be faster, but it's usually more reliable just to not do it. Especially since in your Uranus zone, you can actually just go into the void of space. And the void of space is not very safe. It's quite dangerous, in fact. There's a reason why we're not up there. Also, if you're wondering, is it necessary for me to play that tape over and over again? Yes, it is entirely necessary. If I don't do it, I don't complete the run.
I'd like to use these to sew your mouth shut.
Also, you can hear TK say CEO. See? CEO. Also, we're making our way back to the boss area, funny enough. Remember this? I remember that. That's the boss area. Creb. Alright, so funny enough, we're going to be able to kind of go through this little section, and that's going to be the little ending. Because we're going to be going right down to South Plaza, and then once we're in South Plaza, we're just making a quick detour to the underground, and then we're done. We're at the final boss of the whole game. There's faster around in the maintenance tunnel? Is there? I actually use this one just because I'm aware of it. The one of the windows in the main exit tunnel. Good to know. And this one? And it's good to know. Roughly 10 seconds? Hey, good to know. Keep that in mind. By the way, this route works right now. Now that I know. Most of the endgame routing is really just grab the item. There's not a whole lot to talk about. Just grab the item. And don't mess up the boarding too much. Also, I grabbed the new board because now I can kind of generously go through most of the zombies. Roughly 10 seconds. I like the Evan strat. I really like the Evan strat now. Like, of all the things, I've never done the Evan strat. Doing that first try, I watched the VOD again. I was like, cool, that's how I do it. That's how it works. Alright, last item right here. So I will say, if you are worried about your health, you might want to heal. Just because your health does not refresh in the first period. It will refresh in phase 2, but not in phase 1. I think. So just food for thought right there. If you are taking damage, you might want to heal. We're almost done with supply gathering. We just need to make our way back over to the arena. Which, you know, if you remember this spot with the toy store, hey, beginning of the game, I remember this. Where's Rebecca at? That's right, she got kidnapped. Oh no. Anyway, there's a trash burger right here if you really do need to heal. I did the Evan skip. We actually did it. Alright, and at this point, if you've gone this far, you're right at the end zone of the whole game. All you gotta do is finish up. You're just gonna take the shortcut once again. You can actually skateboard off here if you choose to. If you don't, that's okay. Game. Well, so much for that help. Good job, Frank. I'm not proud of you. I hate Frank. There we go. Alright, and then once you touch these doors, you lose all of your stuff. Now it is time for about, I don't know, 3 minutes of waiting. Enjoy the music. We don't prefer Chuck Green. So, what you want to do here is you want to get the bat, and you want to get as many health drinks as you can, as many of that stuff. Also, I like having a chair. This is a preference at this point, but make sure you get all the health around. Wooden plank's also good. So, it doesn't actually matter if you try to kill any of them. Eventually, the stand will be lowered. This is entirely time-gated. Does Blue Stinger count as a horror game? Probably. I don't own the game, though. I don't know if I'll play it. Alright, now the wider zombies are coming in. Gas zombies are annoying. If they come close to you, what you can do is you can hit them with the chair. And you can just keep looping. If you can just loop them around, honestly, go for it. If you need to be safe, you can pop on top of these for a brief amount of time, and they'll keep you safe. Also, like I mentioned, the chair is pretty good. But keep in mind, gas zombies are pretty bad. So the best strat to do is normally just kind of hop all around. Thank you, Matty Riley. Yeah, they on the front page seem to do well, and we're doing good today. Also, we're going to take the big sip. While this is happening, I'm just going to get rid of all these guys, but like I mentioned, gas zombies are terrible. Nobody likes them. They're easily the worst part of the game. Very easily. There's also a beer right there. The beer will heal you quite a lot. You're still wearing the sports band outfit. Oh, no, nor do I really care. Also, I somehow leveled up during this. This is why I like the chair. It's not horrible getting rid of the gas zombies. It does surprisingly well if you get one. If you're trying to like 5 though, you might not do so well. That's fine. Morning, Kleiner Rotopan. Hope you're doing good. So, if you know when you're done, the music will be rising to like a crescendo, I think is the appropriate phrase. So just wait on the crescendo, you'll hear it. You'll know. You actually don't want to use the bat. The bat will be your weapon for the boss fight. Also, at this point, just go on top of the grinders. If you hear this, you're good to go. Yeah, it's been fun. Man, why are you just randomly typing things? Hey, leveling up works. Alright, we did it. Also, see, look, the Greniers. Alright, I saved 0 seconds on waiting. Okay, time for the final boss. This is Tyrone King, but you can call him TK, baby. So, the way it's going to work is you want to hit him twice. And then you want to actually just get out the camera. That is going to allow you to avoid his stun. At this point, you actually want to go to healing whenever he goes to try to hide. What that does is that refreshes TK. Keep in mind, if you want to try for 3, you can, but if you get stunned, do not. Alright, we're going to go for Rebecca. We're actually not trying to heal Rebecca. We're trying to get TK in the arena for as long as possible. If you need to heal, you can, though. There we go. Yeah, keep going. Oh, I got rammed. That's okay. Alright. Just keep smacking him. Alright, I'm gonna heal during this part. Just keep it safe. Also, if TK is coming at you like a bull, you just dive out of the way. So see, he's gonna attack. I just dive. There we go. I couldn't get it fast enough. You want to keep the fight around Rebecca. Because TK will try to attack you if Rebecca's, like, you know, dying. Good. No, not the pretzel! Alright, we gave TK a wood, and now he's down. That was pretty good, and that's how it goes. If you do that, the fight's pretty simple. There's health around the arena, but that's Dead Rising all bosses. Dead Rising 2 off the record all bosses. Honestly, not bad. I got a 129. That could have been a lot better if I didn't set the mid-game, but you know what? Good.
Risk it all if you're ever really gonna
Fall to your death.
Exactly, Love-tacular. And I hope you all enjoy this. If you're watching this over on YouTube, feel free to, you know, subscribe to the channel and all that, and check out my other social media like Twitter, Discord, and Twitch and all that. If you're watching on Twitch, hi, you're already here. Now, I sure hope there's going to be no zombie jump scare or loud jazz to interrupt my sweet moment between Rebecca and Frank having romance. Also, get it? He's gonna break the story wide open. You were here? You were here, Slim Shady. Good to see you again. How's it, Sunshine? Yeah, good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Oh, no! Oh, no! That's exactly what I didn't want. I can't believe it.